Peace, what's up, Paris? What's up, Europe? This tragedy, Khadafi. QB's finest, your highness. First of all, I don't really like to call it rap. I don't feel that I rap. You know what I'm saying? You got artists that rap. I feel that, I rhyme, I relate, and I'm an artist. I got started basically in the 80s when I was a youngin'. The minute I heard records like Spoonie G, Love Rap, the original Rock the Bells by LL, of course Rakim, and artists of that stature, Tila Rock too, and I would kind of like recite their lyrics. And I noticed that I was able to remember them pretty quickly. Like, I was saying once or twice, and it's like I remember their whole songs just from hearing it twice or whatever. Initially it started off me reciting their songs, and eventually I developed into writing my own rhymes, It inspired me a lot. I wasn't really good at basketball or whatever. My mom's was nice in basketball, but I ain't had that rhythm, I ain't have that flow. But it's amazing because when hip-hop came along, I was like, yo, that's my shit, that's for me, that's what I could rock with, that's what I could do.
And I'm more gifted, I ain't got no game for these women, I just be moving different. Never co-sign no shit if I ain't moving with it. Most vivid, write it and live it, exquisite on my pivot. On top, y'all bottom feeders just eating what I shitted. Committed, money's a major issue, I gotta get it. Expect it all out of life, cause really that's what I give it. Ninjas holding my circle. Grand groove, bust the move. We love your grand groove, bust the move. Grand groove, bust the move. Yeah.
The Juice Crew was a legendary, like they was like the knights of the round table, and Marley was like fucking King Arthur. Being in that circle or wanting to be a part of that circle was like my dream. I didn't know how I was gonna do it, but I knew I had to get involved with that team. And eventually I just kept pressing Marley all the time, pressing him. I was a shorty, but I had a lot of heart and I had a lot of aggression. And eventually Marley took me in, heard me, and from there was history, you feel me? And of course my skills developed more. It's like, if you fresh out of high school and you playing with Kobe, LeBron and Jeremy Lin, you gonna step your game up, So that was like, for me, that was like G-Rap, Kane, and Shan, and being under Marley's tutelage, it's like, it caused me to step my game up. I'm playing with the best of the best, So that was a good experience. And everybody contributed to me in my learning process, even Craig G, even Roxanne Shante. That was a blessing for me, and I gained an invaluable experience from being part of the Juice Crew. Such as your Mobb Deeps, your Nas's, and of course your Capone and Noriegas. Well, I think my catalog and my history speaks for itself. For a while it was like the hush, like, I was like a secret, But over time, I guess dudes started coming to the realization within themselves and being open with it. Like, yo, son taught us this, or we learned that from son, or son came before us, and now we carrying on the story. So I definitely feel I contributed to the progression of QB artists, but that's the same way like Kane and G-Rap and Marley and Shan contributed to me, Each one teach one, and we just add on. So, that was a plus for them and a plus for me, because it keeps that brand, that legacy going.
Emotionally scarred. When you walking with Satan, it's too hard to listen to God. Poverty stricken, falling victim, wickedest schemes. By the age of 15, they label me as a fiend. Imagine fighting drug addiction, barely making your teens. Traded my halo for guns that sprayed, breaking my wings. Generational curses of birth, the illest verses.
There was a time that I felt as though the new school artists didn't really pay homage to the artists that came before them. You know what I mean? And it's like, over time, as I started getting out more, I started meeting these younger artists, and I started realizing, like, yo, they do actually pay homage. They do actually know they shit. Like, they know they hip-hop. Like, they know what's going on. They know what comes from what. And I was impressed by that. So it's not so much I'm not trying to connect, the old to the new and all that. I think that's like a head game. Like, I ain't with all that. I'm just here to do what I do, and you do what you do, and we all make good music. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about bringing bringing it together musically all the time. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let them youngins do what they do, man. The same way when we was coming up, you know, T. La Rock, Mo D, LL, you know, the artists who came before us, they recognized that even though they wanted to keep their spirit of competition up and they didn't want to fall off, they also recognized too that, yo, these youngins is coming up. So we got to do the same thing, respect them for what they do. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them are the voice of this generation.
All my children, probably presents for all my thug niggas. Killer Shy.
Little Giant. Word. Killer Shy, to me, was like one of the illest MCs because he knew how to command his voice. You know, he was a good friend of mine, man, and it hurt me because I was away, you know, doing a bid when he passed away, and it really hurt me that I wasn't around to like console his grandmother and all that, but everything happened for a reason. I want to say with Killer Shy that even though he passed and to a lot of us seemed in an untimely fashion, you know, that's the Lord's will, and that's the design of the universe. It was time for him to go when he went, you know what I mean? But what I will say, that even in that short time, he lived more than a lot of dudes will live in their whole lifetime. And that's because he always went hard. And you know, that was an inspiration and a lesson for me, that I'm still here and I'm still breathing. Yo, it's no time to slack. It's no time to be stagnated. I gotta live every day like it's my last one and keep moving forward, advance, and make progress. Peace to my brother, Killer Shy.
Listen, I'm in the hood like benefit cards against all odds. Lumi got no time for these street retards. Disregard focus talk, I'm bigger than life. Check dudes out thoroughly, cause niggas is trife. This is the life I lead, fine print I read. Little shorties with issues, boo, I don't need. Open your eyes, see the
regime. Info on the barrel, the bullets follow the beam.
I'm making a transition not just from music, but into other realms of hip-hop, but it's still hip-hop, you know? I'm not gonna speak too much on it because I wanna, you know, when I hit y'all, I wanna hit y'all, you know what I'm saying, with that gourmet, but either way, no matter what I do, it's gonna be, hip-hop is gonna be infused in it. Because again, hip-hop is not just music. Hip-hop is a culture, and the culture is very diverse in its arts. You know, a culture can consist of food, music, dance, literature. So trust me, I'm delving into all them realms. Right now, you can look forward to the Pre Magnum Opus physical collector's item that I'm dropping on my label. Yes, 252 is back. The website is tragedy252.com. That's www.tragedy252.com. You could expect a physical release, like I said, a limited edition collector's item of Pre Magnum Opus with 5 new exclusive tracks. One will be featuring Sean Price, rest in peace. And of course, I got Nori on there. Of course, I got many other artists. You could also look forward to a project that I'm gonna release right after the Pre Magnum Opus called Narcotic Lines, and that joint is serious. A lot of surprise guests, a lot of surprise guest artists, a lot of surprise guest production. So, you know, it's gonna be some shit. Now, I mean, the aura's gonna be up on that. That's pretty much it for now, man. Stay tuned with Khadafi. Look me up on Facebook, Tragedy Khadafi Live Motivator. Instagram, Tragedy252. Get at me, man. It's up. We up. Aura's up. Peace.
Niggas don't even care. Let it to my cheek. Yo. Wanted to end this letter on a better note as I write, but this is life. Truth hurts and reality bites, but more or less though, them young niggas still letting they tech blow. Get a degree, yeah, you still gotta stretch to go, but don't stress it, yo, it is what it is. And word to 25, I hold you down as long as I live. If you was here, you probably wouldn't recognize the bridge. Shit is so different, niggas, kids even having kids. Time move fast, but on the inside it moves slowly. Who'd ever think we go from being